guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing something really fun. I am so excited. Today I am going to do the how I used to do my makeup versus how I do it now. Hence the half eyebrow. This is going to be such a fun video for you guys that have followed me for a really long time. The reason that I'm kind of doing this video is because of my hair actually. This hair is a huge throwback to when I first started on YouTube. And yeah, I just thought it would be really cool to play with the trends that I used to do that I don't really do anymore. I've got a bunch of products here that I used to love so much as well. And I'm going to show you guys how I do my makeup now. So there's some things that are still great and there's some things that I wouldn't really do anymore. So let's get started. The first thing I need to address is my eyebrows. So for those of you that don't know, I used to shave off half my eyebrows so I could draw them in higher. What I've realised now is that what I really wanted to happen was this. I wanted my eye to be more almond shaped and my brow to be higher. But when you shave off half your eyebrows and you draw them on higher, the only thing that happens is your brows are higher. Your eye is the exact same. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to draw in my eyebrow. So you can see I'm not very good at concealing my brows, but my natural brow comes down here. We're going to draw it on higher. I've got my Benefit brow. I'm going to mix a little bit of Duraline in there. That's another thing I used to do. Very dark brows. What I'm going to do, guys, because this isn't really a tutorial, I'll make sure I link all the products that I use down below. But apart from that, I'm just going to be doing my makeup. So let's do this brow. I'm not going to zoom you in because no one needs to see this. This is ridiculous. Okay. Oh, yep. Oh my God. I loved this so much as well. I thought it was so cool. Wow. It's mixing with my concealer a little bit. I just thought I was the coolest thing ever, and to be honest, I do still see the appeal. I still think it looks quite cool. Okay, and I used to bring my product right down to the front. My brows are so much thicker than they used to be. And I'm not going to do this makeup and try and make it look shit. Actually, I'm going to try and do what I used to do well. Wowie. I think I need a slightly darker colour just at the end. I might use just some black eyeshadow from my eyeshadow palette. That's a bit better. Cool shape. So I used to do this with my brows when I was on YouTube, but also when I worked for Alamasca, and I was definitely inspired by the girls that I worked with. One of the girls shaved off her whole eyebrow just to draw it on again, and my manager at the time would shave off half her brow, and I saw her do it and I thought it was the coolest thing ever, so look. So the next step for this, I'm going to put a little bit of my gimme brow through the front. I still quite love it. Look how different it makes me look though. I used to wear makeup a lot more, I think. I used to wear makeup pretty much every single day, probably because I was working 6 days a week, really, because I had 2 jobs. I used to wear makeup a lot more, so I would always have my brows on, but now, because I go makeup free so much, I don't think I would shave off half my eyebrows, just because my eyebrows are really dark. I've got quite a dark complexion with my hair now especially, so I just think it's a wee bit too stark. If I had hardly any brows naturally, I would totally do it. It would be great. I'm going to go in with super light concealer because that's what I used to do. I'm going to carve out my eyebrows and leave a halo around them. And I used to start right in the centre. Gorgeous. I just look so angry. I think that's why I liked it so much though. I always wanted to look really angry. And I used to go right to the front. Like that. And then I used to cut the front. Exactly like that. Jeez oh. Another reason that I really liked doing this with my eyebrows was because I had so much room for eyeshadow. Look at all that room between my brow and my lash line. It's crazy. Just going to blend that in, which I actually never really used to do. Okay, on to skin. I'm going to leave my brows like this because I don't really do my brows first anymore. For skin, I have my Bobbi Brown face base. I love this so much, and I actually still do. The smell is amazing, and I used to just rub it on. And it was kind of like my moisturiser as well, actually. I never used to be too good with my skincare, really. Looking back at old videos, oh my god, I can't believe it. My skin was bad, really reactive, it just looked really sad. I didn't have a great lifestyle back then with my eating and my drinking and stuff, so now I've really got it a lot more balanced. But you can totally tell in my skin, you can tell it by like, I look like unwell, it's crazy. Another thing I'm going to use is my Nude photography fluid. I love this so much. I will talk to you guys about what I'm putting on the old side, but the new side, you guys have seen the products a million times. So I'll just chuck them on when I'm doing that. I'm gonna just pop my Kiehl's Glowy Moisturiser on the other side, which is essentially the same thing, but it's just got a little bit more of a skin-like glow rather than it, like this kind of slightly has a cast to it. This one's, if anything, a little bit more tanned. And then I'm gonna pop my Bamboo matte in the centre of my skin on the other side because I just never used to prime really. That would be it. Already you can see the difference, that's just nuts. So for my old makeup side, ideally I would have used Illamasqua Skin Base, but the last time I tried it, it just went to shit on my skin. So what I'm going to use is my NYX Total Drops. You guys might remember this, in the shade Buff, which I don't know if it matches me anymore, but it's what I used to use. And I'm going to go in with a brush. I used to just drop it on my face, remember? And yeah, I just love this foundation so much. It's quite greasy on me now. I think I used to quite like looking a bit greasy, to be honest. It definitely is a bit lighter than what I use, but it's what I used. While I'm here, I'm just going to pop a little bit of concealer under my eyes. Oh god, no, that's not right. I used to use a really light concealer, so I'll mix the lighter colour I've got. That's more like it. And I think I used to do this as well. I think I used to use a lot more concealer than I do now. Wow. A big thing as well is I used to be just a lot paler. I never used to really go on very many holidays. I definitely didn't use any fake tan or anything like that. I didn't know how to do it, so I just didn't do it. But I still did like my cream contour and highlighter. So, for the other side, I'm going to go in with my normal foundation, my Too Faced. So I'm going to go in with a beauty blender and my Born This Way foundation on the other side. A wee touch more tan than my actual complexion of my skin on my face, but it always matches into my body. If you look at my neck, this matches a lot more than this does. I can't cope with it, this is so funny. Do you know the only thing I'm thinking is usually I do my makeup for filming and I get to keep it on all day and I love it. I'm not going to be able to keep this on today. I'm going to have to take it off and do it again. That foundation is just so much more skin-like, I think. And it's crazy because those are the colours that I did used to wear. I might try and blend it in a little bit. Maybe I put too much of the light concealer on, but that's the shade I used to use. I'm going to go in with my NARS concealer in the shade I actually use, which is Ginger. And I just put a wee bit under my eyes, on my chin, and then just a wee bit on my forehead. Never as much as I used to do. Unless you're covering up a spot, really. It's just a little bit for a wee bit added coverage. You do not need loads of it. And it just ends up looking way more like natural. I do my natural looks, but I also do my really loud looks, but if you look at my skin, it's always more natural than it used to look. My contour, my bronzer, yeah, that adds kind of definition and it's like sculpting, but it's not as like theatrical, if you know what I mean. I get drama from like an eye look, a lip look, or a strong brow. I do not try and get drama with my skin anymore. On the old side, let's go back to the how I used to do my makeup. MAC bronzers have always been my favourite. This is Give Me Sun, but I used to use dark tan all the time. I would just literally go in with a brush, get some, and go for it. And one thing I used to do is I used to do it a lot lower down. And I would use loads of bronzer to get the colour back in my skin. I would go right underneath my jawline. And I used to think it was great if it was nice and light here and nice and dark here. I love doing my forehead as well. So to be fair, the paleness of the foundation, I would bronze up. Oh, it's really hard to do not what I do now. So yeah, I used to go down like that. I never used to do anything on my nose. I never used to wear blusher. I really didn't wear blusher at all. Another product I really loved was Swiss Chocolate Blusher by MAC. I used to use this for contour and also on my eyes for eyeshadow. So I'm going to go in with that. And I used to use it right at the back. See how dark that is? That's honestly, that's how I did it. That's how I liked it. Lovely. And then on my skin as well, I wouldn't use a powder. I would use one of these. So this is MAC also. This is in the shade Light Sweep. So I used to use it under my eyes, so let me get my brush. So I'm going to go in with Light Sweep, and I used to just use that right under my eye. And I would use this to bring colour. Yeah, you can see it looks a wee bit more skin colour. And I used to use that underneath my bronzer as well. So you can see the colour looks more normal now, I guess. Whereas on this side, what I do now is I'll get my Radiant Creamy Concealer in the shade Amande and do a little bit of cream contouring, blend it out with my sponge, and I keep it nice and high. So you can see when it's nice and high, it totally lifts the face. Whereas this looks like it's been dragged down. It's so bizarre. But I keep it nice and high. And then with the excess, I'll go around under my chin just a slight bit. And then I'll use my beauty blender to really make sure that that's nice and buffed out, nothing crazy. And then I would go in with my bronzer. I'm going to use Hoola Caramel because that's what I use every day now. I just use little amounts at a time, building it up, and I still do the same thing actually. And then I would also just go in with a wee bit at the side of my nose. For powder, if I was doing a really heavy duty glam makeup, I might bake sometimes, but I really still love my Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. It was funny, to do this video, I actually had to sit and watch loads of my old videos because I couldn't really remember. I couldn't remember how I used to do my makeup, and I wanted to find an eye look that I used to love so much, and I found one which I'll do in a little bit. It's funny because there's some products that I'm going to use that I have loved for years. Like, it made me realise I have loved some products for so long, and it was exciting, it was good. It's nice to know that these guys still have a place in my heart. Okay, so at this stage I would do highlighting, and I loved my Becca Opal so much. I still really do. Becca Opal's, honestly, it's one of my favourite products ever. It's amazing. Wait till you see this. Straight away, you don't even need to work for it. So I just bring it right up my cheek, and then I bring it right up to the brow as well, and I go over my brow because I've not done them yet. And I'm just gonna get a little Tin Man nose on the go. Oh, nice. But I went way far back in my videos and I've been using this for years and years. So I'm gonna use Becca Opal on this side. And I used to use a lot of it. And I never used to really blend it out. I would just put it on everywhere. Okay, it's as though I've done a Tin Man nose for a really long time, but I used to just do that. Ta-da. I literally used to look like a wee ghosty. I still love Becca products, so I actually have this. This is new, but I've been using it last week or so. This is Becca Pop Goes the Glow. And here we've got Champagne Pop, and we've got a bunch of other colours in the same finish. What I've been loving is this colour for blusher. Oh my goodness. So I literally just go in with a brush and it just blends out beautifully. I'm obsessed with it. Every day that I've done my makeup, since I've had this palette, I've been using that blusher. I just think it's gorgeous, especially with maybe my blonde bit. I just think it's so nice. And then I've actually been using Champagne Pop, which is a wee bit more complementing when I'm a bit more of a kind of warmer skin tone. Like, the Opal here is quite ghostly and it's nice, but the Champagne Pop is really gorgeous. And I actually apply my highlighter and then I blend it down onto the cheek, so when I move you get glow everywhere. Still do above my brow, still do my lips, still do my nose, so that's not changed. And I never used to draw my freckle. Actually, well, I think I've done my freckle long enough to draw it in because I just feel like not myself. Let's zoom you in and we'll do our eyes. That's actually one thing I've done for a long time as well, made that noise. Okay, so here we go, nice and close up, you can see the skin. I can tell you what one I prefer, just saying. Okay, so for the eyes, let's start with the old eye. I'm gonna go in with Lay and Low Paint Pot. Loads of you guys will remember this. I used to love it. And I actually still do. I don't know why I stopped using it as much, but it is great. Yeah, it's just a fab eye primer. I think I just started using my concealer because it was so easy and it was one less product to carry around. And one thing I've actually noticed is I used to use way more products on one look. Oh god, maybe right, okay, I'm gonna keep this out. I forgot how much I loved Laying Low. And we're gonna do a lower lash smoky eye. This was my piece de resistance. This was my look. And I felt so cool because at that time I really can't remember seeing loads of people doing this look. So I really thought that I had coined the look for myself. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with my black eye pencil. This is Feline by MAC. Go right into my waterline. And then I'm going to drag it down my lashes. In true old Jamie form, let's use an old dirty brush because I used to never wash my brushes ever. I'm going to get a smudger brush and we're going to start wiggling that, and then we're going to use this to extend our lower lash wing. That actually really does feel like, I think it's cool. And then to buff that out, I'm going to go back in with my MAC blusher. I'm just going to use that to buff it out. But I used to use all different colours. I also was super heavy handed. I used to just whack it on as low as possible. Super grungy. I think that's actually still really cool. I'm going to go in with my Too Faced glitter glue. I love the glitter glue. Put that on a fluffy brush and we're just going to place it on the front part of the eye and in the inner corner. If you guys remember, I used to use the lime crime glitters on every single look I ever did. Every single one. I would have at least one of the lime crime glitters on me and I thought I was the shit. But I actually don't have the lime crime glitters anymore, so I'm going to use the Gypsy Shrine Iridescent Diamond. Here, that's quite cool. I would definitely go in with my Becca Opal and highlight my brow bone, which is either going to make my covered up brows look worse or better. Worse or better? Worse! Yep, makes it look worse. That's perfect. Okay, I'm going to pop on some mascara. I've used Ruler Lash for a really long time, so I'm going to pop on my Ruler Lash. With my lashes, I used to never wear fluffy lashes. I would wear super plasticky, one layer, flicked out lashes. I had the hardest look for a pair like that, and I just don't own them anymore. I just don't use them ever. These are the closest things I could find. These are the Tatty lashes in TL16. So they are synthetic and they're just one layer. So that's the closest I could find. But I used to love Eldora lashes. Do you guys remember? I was obsessed with Eldora lashes. I also don't think I used to cut eyelashes. I was in the mindset that if I cut my eyelashes, it was a waste of money because I was cutting away some of the lash. So I'm going to cut them a little bit so they just fit on my eye, but not that much. Here, I actually think that eye looks really cool, so there's that. Imagine that eye, but with, you know, slightly different brows and skin. So there's that eye finished, and I actually think it looks really cool. But I'm going to show you my go-to everyday eye on this look. So my usual, I popped on my concealer. I definitely think I'm going to pull my laying low back out though. Okay, I'm going to powder that down slightly. And then I'm going to go in with my neutral palette, because you know I love a neutral palette now. I'm going to go in with the Minimalist palette, my go-to warm brown smoky eye look. I think the way that I do eyeshadow now, it kind of enhances my natural eye while kind of lifting the eye, kind of create more of an almond shaped eye as well. I think it's just a wee bit more complimentary, but I really do love that. I think that's really cool. Maybe let me know down below if you want me to do an updated version of that. See, if I was just literally cutting about for the day, I would do that, some mascara, maybe lashes. But I'm going to go a little bit deeper and warmer with it, just so it's more of a kind of accurate representation of what I would do. Because I do love a slightly kind of grungier warm brown smoky eye. And then underneath my eye, I don't actually tend to go in my waterline too much just because it makes my eyes look a wee bit smaller. I'm actually going to go back into the Becca palette and see this rose colour here. This one right here. Oh my god, it's beautiful. I'm going to spray it with my all-nighter and look how beautiful that is. That palette, honestly, see when I first saw it, I was like, no, that's nice. But I use it so much. And then while I'm here, I'm going to go in with that champagne pop colour as my highlight in the inner corner and on my brow bone. I'm going to go in with the darkest brown in my neutrals palette just to get a wee bit more depth. And then something I used to never do, which I do now, is a little half liner. And my liner, whenever I used to do it, I used to make it stick straight out. Whereas I like a little bit of lift in my liner now, so... So I was just using my Benefit Roller Liner there again. I really love them. I just think they're so good. I'm going to make sure my blend's still nice and big. A big blown out smoky eye is still the most gorgeous thing. And then I'm actually going to go in with my bronzer brush and just go in my temple right there, just so it kind of all blends into the face. Mascara and lashes. I'm going to use the same mascara. Nothing's changed there. For lashes, I go for way more fluffy lashes now, so I'm going to use the TL4s by Tatty Lashes. I'm just obsessed with Tatty Lashes. I think they're so amazing. Another thing that I do that I never used to do is I cut my eyelashes in half quite a lot. So the inside of my lashes here, I'm actually going to cut off 1, 2, 3. And I always cut off the little tail on the inner corner. So it just sits right to my lash. And at this point is when I do my brows, because my brows take 2 seconds now. I've got loads of different brows that I do, but my kind of favourite one right now is just with the Benefit Brow Pencil. And it's so quick. I literally just slightly enhance the arch, darken up through the centre of the brow just a wee bit. You see that? It's super fluffy and natural. One thing I've not changed since I got my hair done is actually the darkness of my brows. I could go darker if I wanted, but I quite like this colour here. So this is number 3 from Benefit. And I just make sure my arch is nice and strong. There we go. I'm going to use my 24-hour brow setter first, to just really get all those hairs nice and clean. This also gets rid of any powder products that's just sitting in your brows. And once I've done that, you can see all the hairs are nice and bushy. I go in with my Gimme Brow while it's still wet, and I just mix those two products together. And that is how I get nice fluffy hairs at the front, and then I just go through the body of the brow, and that just thickens up the brow a wee bit, darkens it down a little bit as well. I actually use number 5 in Gimme Brow, so it's a bit darker. And that is pretty much my go-to brow. It literally took me like 30 seconds, so good. And then I just have a play around with that, but you can see that most of the drama's on the outside of my eye, and also because they're cut in half, they're so comfortable to wear because there's no jaggy edges poking me. Okay, I'm gonna zoom you out and let's do our lips. For my lips, I have always loved a nude lip. Nothing's changed there. I absolutely still do. I'm actually gonna start with the old side first. So this is how I used to do my makeup. And when I was watching some of the tutorials, it looks like I just go like this. I just kind of put it on. This is Illamasqua lipstick in Tease. I was obsessed. If you can look, obviously it's the lightest pink nude ever, but I used to just draw it on. And this is a little bit tricky because back then, when I first started out, I didn't have any lip filler, so my lips were really uneven, and also they were a little smaller. It looked like I used to put the lipstick on and then I would overline them. So let's try that. I'm going to use MAC Spice lip liner, and I'm going to try and make them just look a wee bit smaller. So yes, that looks like it. And I never used to really define my lips. Like, the lip liner always looked a bit janky, so let's just... Another lipstick that you might remember me being obsessed with was Cashmere by Lime Crime. Oh my god, I just loved it. There's my wee lips. My wee old lips. And then on this side, I am going to use my Charlotte Tilbury Hot Gossip, and I'm actually going to use my MAC lipstick that I made last year, just because if you had told little me all the way back then that I would end up with a lipstick with MAC, I would have shat myself. So I'm going to use that. So I'm just going to start, and I just follow my lip line, and I like to draw onto the lip a little bit. And just making sure my lip liner and my lipstick's all blended, which I really wasn't very good at before. Oh, one last thing that I would do now is set my face, give it a little fan. This is the Patrick Ta fan, and it is luxurious, let me tell you. And then I would always go back in with my powder and make sure that everything was blended. Again, something else I never used to do. Another thing that's not changed is my hoop earrings and monochromatic clothes. I used to wear a grey, it looked like I wore a grey t-shirt in every single one of my old videos. It was so funny. And flyaways, I still have flyaways. I don't know, I just see myself as so young back then. I just look at her, like the old me, and I just want to give her a cuddle a little bit because yeah, I was so excited, but I was so nervous about this whole thing. And I remember just where I was at in life, all of those videos, I remember watching it, I remember what I was doing, I remember how I was feeling. It makes me so happy that this is what it's kind of turned into. I honestly felt really emotional watching it all back because I am just so grateful to be here where I am right now, and to be able to do this, it's just really exciting. So I wanted to say thank you guys very much for that, because that wouldn't be the case if it wasn't for you. So this is the final look. Hilarious. Let me get something to cover half my face. So this is me now. I do look a bit more glam, I guess. And then this is, oh, look at my wee lip. Apart from that, I had loads of fun doing this. It was super nostalgic. Let me know if there's any other styles of videos that you think are a wee bit similar to this that you want me to do. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye! Very dark brows, very sculpted, very... I don't really know how to explain it. Wow, that did not work at all. I look insane. I look like Mulan. I used to use this. This is actually, is this the same one? I hope not, because that's like 5 years old. I'm gonna get this off my hand. Did anyone get the fear with my blonde bit? So, shit. Is this safe around my eyes? Who knows? Ah, fuck. Soft blown out wave. But I'm gonna start with the new side.